Hello, everyone. Welcome to AMC Lawsuits and Justice, Project Popcorn the Scheme. My name is Ethan. Today is February 15th, 2026, 5:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And today we're publishing a video with regards to Robert Simons versus AMC Entertainment Holding. If you guys recall, this lawsuit was filed back on October 31st, 2025. It's on behalf of 8 shareholders, and the attorney representing the plaintiff, Robert Simons, is Frank Iacano. And I mentioned that Frank Iacano appeared in Delaware as a person who wanted to intervene, and I think I misspoke. He had a huge A position, and he had puts on AMC, and he was basically playing the spread. I still don't know where he stands. At the end of the day, when he made the application to intervene, his application was denied, and now he appears a couple years later filing a lawsuit on behalf of the plaintiff, or filing a class action lawsuit with, seems to me like the lead plaintiff will be Robert Simons. So let's go to the docket. There were a couple entries on Wednesday and Friday of last week. We're going to address the first 6 docket entries, number 12 through 17. The first 4 were notice of appearances by 4 attorneys who are going to represent AMC. We had John A. North, Joshua Sanders Amsel, Matthew Connors, and Tanner Stanley. I'm hoping John A. North rings a bell for those who are tracking the lawsuit, in the class action lawsuit out in Delaware in 2023. John A. North represented AMC, and if you guys were following Jordan, myself, or Al from Boston, we filed several motions, and I specifically filed a motion when there was a telephonic conference call back in April, I think 23rd or 24th, or maybe 26th of 2023, where John North made the representation to Judge Zern that there were 4 million shareholders. And the reason he made that application or representation was because on that day they were going to discuss how to affect postcards, how to affect service and to give shareholders notice. And Judge Zern wanted to move forward with postcards, and the defendants had an opportunity to argue, and they said it was going to be expensive to send 4 million shareholders postcards, and it was going to come up to like a couple $1 million. Judge Zern, I think the only decision she rendered that was legit, said it didn't pass the sniff test, and said, listen, in the lawsuit it says that AMC was so happy with retail and how much money they would raise for a couple $1 million to serve and give them the respect to serve them with postcard. That's what's going to happen. So she didn't buy their argument that because it's expensive relative to the standard serving notice. So let's move on. So number 16, the docket entry, is just a general Rule 7.1 corporate disclosure statement. And then we're going to focus now on number 17. Number 17 is a letter motion for extension of time to file an answer, and that was submitted by AMC's attorney, once again, John North. And we're going to address now number 18. The judge granted his application, as you can see. It says order granting 17. And it says the letter motion for extension of time to answer. And what the order states, it's a summary. I haven't downloaded the PDF file, but I usually go straight to the summary, which is here. And basically it says that the request is granted, and now the defendant's deadline to respond to the complaint, which was slated for February 17th, is now adjourned and shall be rescheduled after the lead plaintiff is appointed. Now, mind you, Robert Simons has his name on the lawsuit. Now they're asking who's going to be the lead plaintiff, and it's appointed. And then the judge wants Frank Iacano, the attorney representing the plaintiff, to submit a new operative complaint has to be filed. And then she further states that the plaintiff is now directed to file a letter by February 19th, 2026, advising the court on his compliance with the publication of notice under Title 15 U.S. Code Section 78U 4A3A. And then it's so ordered and signed by the district judge. And that's it for today. I hope everybody had a good week. Stay tuned. Once again, the deadline for the next hopeful docket entry could be either on February 19th or sometime before, and we will keep an eye on it. If you need to track the lawsuit, there's a hyperlink in the first video, which incorporates the URL for Pacer Monitor and where to find the lawsuit, Simons versus AMC. Anyway, that's it. Have a good week. Bye.